Hello and welcome. This one is going to be a very special one. May I welcome from Welham's, that's Prarthana, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please have your seat. And that's Arnav. You're from?
Pinegrove School.
Pinegrove School, grade 11.
Yes, sir.
Please. Welcome. That's Tanisha.
Right, sir.
Welcome, please. You're
Thank you,
from Mayo.
Yes, sir.
Mayo. Well, this is a very special edition. We have, I would say, the next generation from various schools, various residential boarding schools from our country. Let's start from Tanisha. Tanisha, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What grade are you? Where are you coming from? And what exactly defines Tanisha?
Hi, sir. I'm Tanisha Tibrewal. I'm from Mayo College Girls School, Ajmer. I live in Ranchi, Jharkhand, and I'm pursuing the commerce stream in my school. I'm in 11th grade. And I'm an avid speaker, I'm a dancer, I'm a musician, so I think that's what describes me as a whole.
Wonderful. I think over the conversation we'll know more about you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. I am Arnav. I am from Pinegrove School, Subathu. It's in the hills of Kasoli. I am basically from Panchkula, and I love to play soccer. And I am average at studies and excellent at co-curriculum. So that's
Wonderful. So your life and your education is like a heaven on the high hills.
yeah, you can say. And I love traveling.
Oh, you love it.
Yes.
Lover of travel, huh?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Yes, please. That's Prarthana.
Right, sir.
Prarthana, right? Very important in life. Yes. Okay.
So, sir, I come from Meghalaya. I'm currently studying at Welham, Dehradun. I'm in the 11th grade as well. I'm pursuing sort of a liberal arts mixed stream. I have psychology, biology, economics and
Oh.
math. But
What a mix.
yeah, and it's great that school offers that because it really opens up a lot for me. But in school, again, I'm into debating, writing, speaking. I write poetry as well. I'm into swimming, and I really like going for any sort of speaking event and anything that has to do with policy making. I've been into that space for quite some time now, and I'm interested in that.
Good. You speak so well. So all 11th grade?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. So you guys never met before?
No,
No,
sir.
we have.
Yeah.
So how is the friendship coming up?
We just became friends 5 minutes back, sir.
Really?
I think this is gonna stay.
But you've been here since yesterday morning, I believe, no?
As soon as we've come, we've just been thrust into this space and
Challenges.
yeah.
Our
And we are
very
enjoying
different
the-
committees that we are in.
So what challenge you have opted for?
I'm in Impact Challenge Track 1.
Impact Challenge, Track 1.
I'm in the same challenge, but I'm in track 2.
Right.
You are in Track 2, Impact.
And I am in Contents Creator Challenge.
Oh, content creation. Okay, that's awesome. So how is it going otherwise?
It's going really well. I think this is more of an opportunity where you don't really focus on what you already know, but it's more about learning. So it's about how creative you can be at the sport. It's not about you portraying your skills that you already know. It's genuinely just about creativity, about how beyond you can go from what you know.
Yeah, it's going beyond the limits,
Yes.
right? Stretching beyond.
Stretching your boundaries to the maximum.
How has been your experience coming to Chitkara?
Coming to Chitkara, it was really something that I didn't expect. I've never been to a university in my life before. This is my first time coming to university, and I've seen this life, how everyone is so engrossed in doing whatever they're doing, studying, going to their programs, and it's also learning how we come here. And we're in a boarding school, so it's obviously very different for us than what it is over here. But I
Right.
think overall it's a sort of a balance of how you can also have fun while you also move towards what you want to achieve in future.
Oh, that's great. I think that's very candid and upfront of you with a very clear mind and that broad smile, right? Excellent. So Arnav, what has been your experience coming here from the hills to, a university in the city?
So as I told you that I love traveling. So last year I went to a conference held in Colombia. So we were having post and pre-conference both.
Where in Colombia? Cartagena?
No, sir, Bogota.
Oh, Bogota. Okay,
Yes, sir,
awesome.
the capital.
Quite far, Colombia, no?
It was having a round school conference. Over 250 schools participated all
And
over
you were
the seas.
representing your school.
Yes.
What an opportunity.
And India too, sir.
India too.
Yes. So basically, I didn't got the exposure which I got here. The exposure I got here is more than the exposure I got in Colombia.
Right.
And here it's like so challenging. Everybody is so competitive, and we need to face each other on the neck to neck, and it's so great.
So now you feel that you are in the real game.
Yes.
Coming out of your shell
Yes.
and then seeing what the world is like in reality.
Yes, sir.
What about you?
So, sir, as soon as I came here, it was a change of landscape. especially first thing because I've been used to an environment, a debate setup or an MUN setup, and it's usually high schoolers around. So as soon as you step into this environment, it's obviously a bit intimidating. But I think as we started conversing with our volunteers, you realize that their ambitions are not that different from yours. I mean,
Oh, really?
they're probably they're a few years older to you. So yes, while they are different in some sense, somewhere you can still connect. And I think that's
Even though
where-
the gap of age is there, but you still connect.
yeah,
That kind of awareness which is in the society today
yeah.
has made you come up to their level of understanding and thinking.
That as well, and also it challenges a lot of misconceptions because the first time I stepped into my committee. The EB is all college students as well, right? So I mean, hearing them speak, hearing them.
What is EBS? You have to tell me.
So EB is basically our executive board, like yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we're used to the MUN lingo, so
Oh, that's MUN lingo. MUN is Model United Nations.
yeah,
Right? So OC I know.
yeah.
It's like your organizing committee,
Logistics,
correct?
yeah.
Yes.
And then I believe there is some HOD and then there's a Director General, a Secretary General,
Yes,
correct?
Yes, sir.
So all of you are used to MUN?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So that's how your experience has been at Chitkara.
Right, and you see that even though they're probably 4, 5, 6 years older to you, they're all probably writing research papers and publishing books and doing a lot of things that feels very distant. It feels like it's probably going to, we're probably going to have to do those things after quite some time. But seeing them do all of that makes you think that, hey, it's probably the right time for you to get into all of that as well.
Right. But you got to wait also. You
Yeah.
cross your grade 12 and then go by the, I would say, the structure of education we have, right? And though you want to stretch and go beyond the boundaries, as she said, right? I want to stay around the topic. It's like reimagining India from your point of view.
All right.
How the India you would like to see, how the India you want it to be, what do you expect from your country, what do you want to give to your country? So we'll stay around that topic, right? So the first question is, if you could solve one problem in the country today, what would it be and how you're going to go about it? Let's start with Arnav.
So basically the biggest challenge of a country is to reduce poverty. The poverty in a country is on the top of the list, So I want to contribute it in by donating most of my worth generated by myself.
So that is the biggest problem statement,
Yes.
and something around it you want to contribute and build solutions around it.
Do you know Ratan Tata?
Who doesn't know him?
Yeah, everybody say.
Yeah.
He donated almost $1.2 billion and almost 65% of his wealth generated was donated.
Right.
I also I was inspired by him and I truly respect him.
So it seems that you got an entrepreneurial mind.
I was about to say that I want to also come in the list of Forbes.
Oh, really?
Yes, like now it's very difficult for me because donating and coming in the list of Forbes is two different things.
Awesome. So what about you?
So for me, I think the biggest problem that I think India facing is right now is the financial literacy. Not most of them have financial literacy in
that's
our
quite
country.
right, bang on.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And I think that, everyone in our country gets exploited really easily. So say if there's a good for 5 rupees, everyone would, so the customer, the shopkeeper would say that's for 500 rupees and the customer would buy it.
Yeah.
Because the customer has no knowledge of how it's being made, of the capital, land, labor, what all has been put into it. So I think I would want to change everyone. I would want everyone to be literate financially. And I think I would want to do this.
How would you do it?
I would do it by making it a compulsory subject in all schools, or by having more awareness camps, by having more talking to more people about it, having more platforms where you can speak about it openly, and then
You mean like, what you mean is that it should start early, like a regular subject of, let's say, mathematics.
right.
Great. What are your thoughts?
So I think the cause which is most proximate to every single issue is then education. Because firstly, if you talk about financial literacy or even if you talk about poverty, I think that's like the basic building block. And as an educational space, we've grown a lot, we've come a long way as well. But there are certain pockets in India which have a very good quality of education, and then the vast majority of it is still struggling with it in a sense. And thus it's very polar. the education space, and a lot of areas require evolution as times change, because we see that for the longest time we've adopted a certain model of education. We've had our own models of education as well, but right now the need of the hour is dynamic learning, because the world is constantly changing. So knowledge can very easily become redundant as well.
Exactly. That's the point. Do you agree?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Most definitely.
So I think that becomes especially important, because what we learn in school, the knowledge that we learn from textbooks, it could very easily be inculcated into AI tomorrow, and that wouldn't be of any use to us.
So how are you going to do it?
So I think that the notion of education being restricted to certain
Textbooks.
age groups and textbooks, all of that has to break in a way, and the idea of lifelong learning has to come about, because very honestly, for any post, any job, you have to be a constant learner to adapt to the changing environment.
And then implement.
Right.
You know, and then whatever you've learned, you bring it into practice.
Exactly.
For making a better society. So if you were given a choice, you know, and you had all the rights, and you had the authority to change one thing in education, what would that be?
I think I would change the idea of having a prescribed syllabus for every subject, because what I've experienced personally in school is that teachers come from a place wherein they do know a lot, and when they connect things to, probably if they're teaching us about economics, then we'll probably have like a 2-minute diversion.
Are you
into-
hinting at that teachers are not that great?
No, I'm yeah, obviously there do exist disparity
Could be better.
in qualifications. We come from schools where probably we have better access to quality teachers, but then yeah, there are places where that does not exist.
Right.
So if you don't limit the scope of a syllabus, if you don't limit the scope of an exam, firstly it allows students to explore it on their own, it allows them to research it, but secondly you learn the subject.
Yeah.
And you don't really learn
It's
your
like us getting
Yeah.
into a subject matter expertise,
Right.
and you imbibe that skill. What would you change?
So I want to make an education system like BSAI. We came here, we are having no books, but
Yeah.
we are learning, and we are learning, and we are learning.
Yeah.
And it is added in our experience. Experience learning is more bit,
Yeah.
more bit.
But I think
favorable.
theory is also important.
Theory is also
You've got
important.
to have
sir.
a very fine
Yes.
balance, right?
Yes, sir. The experience that you get is more beneficial than book learning. I
So you
prefer.
say more of exposure,
Yes.
industry exposure. What will you change in the education system?
So I think even I would go with having someone, a student, to go and research about a particular topic themselves, rather than have a textbook prescribed and read through what's already been given by other people, other teachers, other professors. I think it's better if we ourselves go and research about something.
Yes.
It retains in our brain a lot, like we don't forget what we do ourselves. So, and me coming from the same curriculum, IGCSE, I've done it, and I've done ICSE also. So I think there's a difference between both the curriculums, wherein in IGCSE I get more freedom to write what I want to write, and I'm not forced to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
And I have a broader umbrella of topics that I want to choose and
Right.
study.
Right.
And in ISC, that's very limited.
So what does success mean to you? Is it like more about status? Is it more about satisfaction? Is it about impact, or is it something very entirely different?
I think the notion of success has often been associated with status and income, things like that. But it is something which is subjective and should be treated like that. For example, what I want to do with my life, and if I'm able to accomplish that, I would probably be successful in my own terms.
Right.
And like according to me, I do want to create a lot of social impact, even if I don't earn a lot per se, even if I don't have too much of a social standing. I personally want to do things which give me the personal satisfaction that probably attributes to success.
Exactly. Beautiful. That's right. What about you, sir?
So a successful person is a person who achieves a goal he aimed and is happy. If the person is not happy, then he can't be successful.
That's the way you think, right?
Yes, sir.
What about, how do you think?
Sir, I think to me success isn't just about money, fame, or anything related to that. I think it's about what I do that impacts other people in the society.
Yeah.
So say if I just want to wake up in the morning and think about something that I want to do in the entire day, and I want to go back to bed thinking that I've achieved or tried to achieve what I wanted to do, and I want to move one step closer to what my actual
So that
goal
sense
is.
of, I would say, self-discipline,
Self-discipline, right, sir.
and then self-satisfaction that, okay, at least I tried and had the better meaning of my time.
Right.
Yes,
Right? Let me ask you one thing. Do you do time boxing? Like how you manage your time?
So our schedule in Pinegrove School is totally fixed from morning to night. Not in Pinegrove, all the boarding
All
schools.
boarding schools.
Yes.
So then the schedule is fixed.
Yes. But
So-
at home we need to maintain it. Yes.
How do you manage your time at home?
We like sleep a lot because in boarding schools you do not get to sleep. So at home, like, we used to wake up little late, like 9 to 10, had a breakfast, and then used to gossip with parents and all. And
Now, how do you manage your time?
Even I would say the same. We're all from boarding schools. We have a schedule set from morning 6 o'clock till night
is
10
good.
o'clock, which
Yes.
is very, very good. So we're bound to doing something, and we know that we're doing it for ourselves and not for other people. And we just know that we would want to do that, the entire schedule, because we are benefiting from it somehow or
So
the
you
other.
have a schedule in place, and then you follow that schedule, and then you feel at the end of the day, oh, I did something.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you?
Personally, I've always had a problem with it because when a schedule exists, that's when you want to do more. When it doesn't exist, you seem to feel like there's ample time for everything. So when a schedule does exist and I have 15 minutes of time between running from one place to the other, 15 minutes of time between breakfast and assembly, I actually feel like making use of those 15 minutes somewhere else, like somewhere productive, like finding time outside the schedule, probably 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. And that's what gives you satisfaction because you feel like, oh, you could beat the system and you could like take out some more time from what already
I'm very
has
sure
been
you're going to
already.
beat the system. I'm very sure. Yeah, you have that, determination and also the audacity to voice out your thoughts. What one thing have you done proud for your parents till now?
Success for me is again making my parents happy. My parents, I feel like they've invested in something for me.
So how have you made them happy?
When we're in boarding school, the least they expect out of us is to give them a phone call and tell them about what we are doing in the entire day, where we're facing challenges, what's the good thing about happening in our schedules. So I think,
So you talk to them daily?
yes, I talk to them daily and that's what makes them happy, and in turn it makes me happy.
So what about you?
during the COVID period, my discipline was like nil. My parents were like stuck off me and wanted to just वो stereotypical thinking होती है ना Indian parents की, hostel भेज देंगे. It was the same thinking. But after I entered the boarding school, I was totally different. A different man came out of
So
me. And
kudos to your school, changed your life, made you a man of today.
Sure, definitely. And my parents are like so proud of it.
What about these pins? These are your achievements?
And
Tell me a
with-
little bit about them.
Like, I got a friend from British, he told me to wear it. And London, British, this is of
Token
Colombia.
love and gratitude.
Yes.
All right. So what about you?
I think that when you move into a boarding space, your initial reaction is that I have no time for myself and I'm not happy, there's so much going on. And often when you have allotted work to you, you feel like, oh, there's no break. But then I think what makes my parents happy is when I'm able to say that, okay, I did XYZ things, but I wasn't stressed about it because I didn't have the time. But I was actually able to derive happiness from what I was doing. And I didn't need to look at it in a different way or need to seek it from somewhere else, from somewhere outside what I was doing, because I was doing what was making me happy.
You know what? The youth of today is quite determined and very clear. And I keep hearing, and I think you must have also heard, or your parents would be echoing that, when they say, आजकल teachers क्या पढ़ाएंगे बच्चों को तो सब पता है.
That's not true.
With due
sir.
regards to the teacher, be very honest.
That's not true, because the teacher is obviously more experienced than we students are, or whatever we've learned. Yeah, I'm sure the theory bit is something that we can cover it up on our own, and they can not teach us that part. But then the other bit, the examples that they state, it really gives the students
Absolutely
a
beautiful. I think
good
that's awesome. That
understanding of
experience
whatever
and
they're teaching.
your regard for the teachers and the kind of a very impressive answer you've given.
So it's a very stereotypical thinking. Like, it's a
And it
direct
bothers you
taunt.
inside?
Yes, sir, it's direct taunt. Like, you can't digest it anymore.
Sir, I think that the notion of what education is and what teachers' roles are has to change a bit, because their teachers obviously to teach their subject, but they're also teachers to teach us as people and how to be people in general, and they have more experience of life in general, so that's where you also have some sort of moral education coming your way as well, in terms of how they conduct a class, how they, you know, what kind of methods they use to teach you, what they use to evaluate you, and how they speak to you, things like that. That's also implicit learnings that you pick up from when being around teachers. Because
Right. I think also on the other side, from the teacher's side, you know, you also should understand there's a lot of pressure on the teachers.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
because you come from one nest, especially in the boarding, to another nest, and they have to parent you in some way or the other, right? And a lot of empathy. And then all of you have different upbringings, right? Different culture you come from. And here is somebody you're expecting a lot. both
And in
education.
boarding schools, we as a students remain away from our parents, and the teachers also remain away from their families.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. What a sacrifice.
Yes, sir.
So whatever said and done, you know, teachers the supreme, and anything could be resolved with communication.
Yes, sir.
That's very important. What do you have to say about good communication?
I think good communication is the key to achieving anything at all. If you don't have the communication power with your is it specifically about the teacher part
No.
or in general?
Yeah.
So the communication, if without the communication you can't really convey, if you can't convey what you're thinking to the world out there, then how is the world supposed to get to know what you're actually thinking and what you actually expect or want out of the world?
What career would you like to pursue? Any particular field, and you know, and how do you think it will shape the future in India? What kind of a career you want to pursue?
Like I told you that I want to change this financial literacy thing in India.
You want to bring that as a subject in the curriculum?
Yes, that's one aspect of it. But secondly, I also want to become an entrepreneur. I want to explore the finance.
Create
bit.
jobs.
Yes, create jobs for people, become an employer, and have a lot of employees, give employment opportunities to others, so that the
Yeah.
poverty, like one of the people stated, the poverty is
Good
erased.
boss, a good entrepreneur.
First, I'll do law, business lawyer, and after that, I'll just enter the field of business. And most probably, if I am that much lucky, I want to come in the list of Forbes also. And
You got to work very hard.
Yes, sir. I know,
Yeah?
sir.
What about you?
I think I want to pursue an upcoming field of forensic psychology. because-
Forensic psychology.
Right. Because I think that a lot of things that we do, not just in India, but like as people in general, they're not very driven by understanding of ourselves and our emotions and even other people's emotions. There's an apathy barrier which you need to break. And oftentimes when you look at criminals, because it is forensic psychology, you look at them as like criminals, but there's also a lot of them which have pathologies, and you have to understand why criminals commit crimes in the first place, and that allows you to address deeper systemic issues, and that allows you to reduce crime rates, that allows you to probably see some of them in a more empathetic light, because some of them may have done it driven by mental health disorders and things like that. So it allows you to segregate them, it allows you to evolve better methods of dealing with them.
So to bring such a change, that's a good answer, very, very deep. But to do all these changes, you need to have an authority. Either you be a part of the system, that's the government system, you have an authority, you can make a change, or you've got a lot of money as an entrepreneur, so you can still make a change. So you got to work a lot. There's a job in hand, right? Wonderful. Now, who inspires you most in today's India? Which leader or anybody? You know, being a non-political question, who inspires you most? Could be a politician, could be not a politician. And what have you learned from their journey?
Sir, if I would answer this, I would not pick a person, but I would pick the farmers who work in India. The way they silently work and have no complaints, they don't run after money, but
Yeah.
all they think about is just
Brilliant.
providing for themselves and, you know, staying happy in whatever they have. So I think I would not particularly name a person.
So that's the, I would say, the sector, the human race, that's the community, the farmers community, which
Yes.
is the one you
How
owe.
hard hardworking they are in
Awesome,
every
very
field.
brilliant. What
I
about you,
told
sir?
you already, sir. Ratan Tata.
What about you, Prarthana?
I think I would say Amir Khan, And
Why?
the reason behind that is because I've, through my parents and through cultural media, seen him as an actor, seen the work that he's done. But when it comes to going to any award show or showing up anywhere, you don't really find him in those spaces. And his simple answer is that the appreciation for his art or whatever that it is that he does, is for society in general, and that can't be restricted or defined or constrained or motivated, purpose driven solely by the awards or the recognition that he gets from such platforms.
Humility.
Yeah, and the humility and also the way in which he goes about his work. If you look at the kind of movies that he's a part of and the kind of work that he does, it's oftentimes very deeply rooted to grassroots problems. And you can
Very
actually,
well thought.
yeah, you can actually see him breaking away from the notion of, having number songs and very attractive dance moves in movies, to actually addressing systemic grassroots issues that exist in India in real time in his movies.
So he strikes the chord
Right.
and gets deep into the hearts and then makes you thinking. So very
Exactly.
thought-provoking, but yet with empathy and all. Brilliant. So Farmers, Ratan Tata, and you have Amir Khan. Awesome. What a mixed bunch of brilliant geniuses I have. If it was not for you, this life, for who it will be?
I think this life, if it were not for me, it would be my parents. Solely and dedicatedly, it would be my parents.
Parents, sir.
Parents, but also everybody else who couldn't have what I have, everybody else who probably wanted to be in a similar position, had similar aspirations, but they didn't simply have the opportunity access. I mean, we are in an opportunity.
Oh, you're so kind. Wonderful. That's right. Great. Have you ever thought of authoring a book and penning down your thoughts?
So, I not really, I don't think that I'm in a position to actually do that, but I do write poetry, so thinking of publishing.
Oh, you do
something.
poetry, huh? Very nice. That's excellent. One quick message you have to give to the camera, while everybody is listening to you, especially the youth of the country, the youngsters, students of your age, younger than you, older than you. What would that be right on the camera?
I think very simply, in any space that you are, don't get influenced by what other people are doing, because anywhere that you are, whatever experience that anybody else is going through, it's going to be completely different for you. And if you have the mental fortitude to forge your own path, then absolutely nothing can affect you. No friend drama, no peer pressure, nothing can affect you in that setting. So just be very original, know yourself, and know what you want to do.
Brilliant. Arnav.
I want to just quote something: by toil to stars. Do hard work and you'll achieve whatever you want to achieve.
What about you?
I would say that we should all be very proud Indians, and we should not be choosing our religions.
I think
Forget
we can
about
clap for that.
Hindu,
We should be very
Muslim.
all of us can clap for
No
that.
religion is right and no religion is wrong.
Yeah.
We're just proud Indians sitting here together and making policies for tomorrow, which would be the better for India tomorrow.
Beautiful. One last question.
Yes, sir.
You want to flow with the flow or want to be the flow?
I want to be the flow.
You?
Want to make the flow.
Want to make the flow.
I wouldn't say the same thing with make the flow.
Okay, that's all the women leading the country, and that's awesome. It's wonderful talking to you. I wish you guys do great. Stay on great morals. Respect your parents. Be wise. And you have great mentors at your school, your parents. It's a pure honor. And thank you for coming to Chitkara University. This is a great institution built by two great teachers, Dr. Ashok Chitkara and Dr. Madhu Chitkara.
Yes, sir.
And the kind of soul effort they've put into build this institution is something which has no much words to explain.